After many discovery calls, both with prospects and with clients, I'm going to step you through the best and most effective way to implement your AI projects for sales and marketing. These videos are primarily for marketing leaders and marketing executioners, practitioners. Stay tuned. I'm going to step you through what you need to do, what you need to focus on, how you need to do it. And I'm also giving away this presentation um, in the link below. Keep watching. After many phone calls, I've learned that almost 9 out of 10 of them have very lofty, grandiose ideas for how to implement AI, and they're biting off more than they can chew. My recommendation is to keep it small. Focus on the couple of small things that are incredibly tedious, are drudgery, and require a lot of manual hours to get done. That's where you should focus on because it boosts morale, right? People have more time to do more exciting marketing work and sales enablement work, and they get excited, right? If you bite off more than you can chew, and your timeline, your project timeline, is too long and too wide in scope, you're going to fail. Unfortunately, most organizations will. Let's step through how you should go about doing this. In many cases, the wish list is right, but the order is wrong. These are very aspirational projects: AI content engine, one-to-one personalization, agent-led nurture, auto follow-ups, and ops automation. Ops automation is very big, very broad and deep. I would say that till you've accomplished a lot of smaller AI implement. AI content engine there's nothing wrong with that. The challenge with it is that if you don't define a brand and you don't build the infrastructure, the AI and the LLM, the large language model, ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini, all those. If you don't have the right LLM and you're not using the right prompting, the AI content engine project is going to fail. It's going to produce second-rate kinds of content. Uh, it's good, but perhaps you're not ready for it yet. And if you are ready, make sure that you go through all the correct steps. The model is really important. The type of the LLM that you choose, the model that you choose, the training that you train the model with. All of that is very important. And when you complete all those steps the right way, you will get great outputs. And then you can check that box and go, AI implementation number 1 successfully completed. We're now saving a ton of money. And you can go to your CFO and your CRO and say, hey, aren't we great? All of these are fine, but start small and build on those smaller wins. Point AI at outcomes and keep it out of trouble. I believe that ideal customer profiles are really good first projects to build. They're incredibly valuable to most people in the organization: marketing, sales, product marketing, customer service. If you have your ideal customer profile built out and you're utilizing AI, the LLMs, internal data, external data, conversations, Gong conversations, right? If you use Gong, all of that information can be incredibly helpful to build the right ICP. And then it's one of those foundational elements that can be applied across the board. And then that leads you to brand voice guide, right? Once you know who your ICP is, their concerns, their challenges, what they want, then you can build out a very good and effective brand voice. And you can also generate a lot of really good content. I referenced the content engine on the previous slide. Focus on your claims and sourcing, compliance boundaries, human checkpoints. It's human in the loop. Do all those things the right way. Make sure your data is good. Make sure you're following company compliance and your claims and sourcing. Make sure that your data is accurate, whether it's internal or external. All of those things are very foundational, very important. And when they're in place, your AI implementation gets rolled out successfully. Stop trying to do 10, 15, 20 things at once. Start with 3 areas. 70% I would focus on expanding proven wins like call summaries, follow-up drafts, simple things. I mentioned the Gong calls. Take all of that customer and prospect data and use it to build really good marketing insights for your ideal customer profiles. It is the bedrock, the foundation of a lot of your content that you're going to produce. 20% should be dedicated to adjacent pilots. Build a LinkedIn agent. Fairly simple to do, can be very effective. Make sure you build it right and train the model correctly. I've been a recipient, I've been on the short end of that, and it was a very frustrating experience. And then true experiments. Get people excited. Have them explore and have a sandbox and have people enable them with certain tools, maybe with N8N as an automation tool, and maybe build something and have them explore the app. Maybe they build an app using Claude. It's limitless, and not everyone's going to want to do this, but there may be some who will, and maybe they're your AI leaders who want to really jump into this and help the team more. Data readiness is really important. It leads to what I call model wizardry. If all of your data is really accurate and good, external and internal data, especially internal data, you're going to experience a lot more successful outcomes. Not much more to say on this, just it's very important. I can't tell you how important prompting is. If your teams do not know how to do prompt engineering, chain prompting, follow-up prompting, uh, you're at such a disadvantage. It's a communication skill and it's a language. And if you cannot speak the language, you're not going to get very far. Your outcomes and your responses from the LLMs are going to be very weak. So making sure that you've built really good prompts, you share those prompts, you have good prompt libraries for different use cases is a very simple thing to do and is a best practice and becoming even more so. It's very important. Human and machine workflow curation, if you're not familiar with it, is responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. These are the people who are responsible. They're your stakeholder team, right? More or less. And in this very simple framework on the left-hand side here, I've got an LLM draft. Whatever you create with an LLM, have a subject matter expert review it, check the claims, make sure, use third parties, use human in the loop, have legal review it. It's going to need brand polish, which could be something as simple as going in and editing it or refining it, whether it's words or images or a slide deck, and then ship it. Framework here, but it is a best practice and a component of a much bigger and better AI implementation. Pilot design and QA, no vibes, right? Define good before you start. Accuracy is incredibly important. That goes without saying. There's too much trust in the LLMs and in projects. You need to make sure that what you're building, it's ideally an MVP, a minimal viable product. If it's an app or a minimal viable project, make sure that you're 95% plus on brand voice match, 60 to 80% on time to draft. This is about reducing time and the drudgery of a lot of stuff that we don't want to do. We want to work on exciting stuff. So make sure that that is part of your formula for a good implementation. Hallucination rate needs to be less than 1%, absolutely. And then you need to be achieving revenue goals, right, and signals. Have a weekly, monthly, and quarterly calendar in place. Office hours and training is very important on the weekly side. Monthly, have red team drills and testing, just in case anything bad happens. Put that in place and just have a quick drill. And then quarterly updates and reviews. And I've got role-based playbooks here and governance structure. You can just pause this and read that if you want. And then finally, we've got our 30, 60, 90-day plan from pilots to revenue. Your first 30 days, one-pager, guardrails document, execute initial data cleanup sprint, launch first controlled pilot, establish baseline metrics, everything that we've discussed in this. And then 30 days, 30 to 60 days, have 3 pilots running simultaneously, performance scorecard active. Make sure that you're looking at your scorecard, tweak anything or refine anything if you're off. Complete first enablement sprint. Once you've completed your first, pilot, send it out. Make sure everyone within your organization knows about it. Get people really jazzed and energized and excited about it. And then your 60 to 90 days, stop the projects that are not working because of lack of knowledge, lack of experience or insights. Just focus on the stuff that you have the internal subject matter expertise for and come together as a group and implement that. And everyone internally should be a winner, right? More or less. Everyone should have something removed that they no longer want to do, right? In the automation side of the house, right? And document your ROI and path to expansion. Where are you going from here? And when you follow all of this stuff, which is fairly straightforward, the challenge is making sure that you get all of the stakeholders together and that they all know what they're supposed to do, and you've clearly identified the scope and their requirements. And once you do, you will execute your AI project very successfully, and it will only lead you to even better and bigger things over the course of the year. So I hope you found this helpful. Download this. It's in the comment section and enjoy it. Thanks so much.